Hello, Commanders. Welcome back to the command table. I am Mathramar, and we are going to finish off the Ancient Road on our journey walkthrough. We're doing the last 5 battles of Map 4, which is 286 through 290. If you like what you see here, please do like and subscribe. And if you want notifications when I drop new videos, be sure to hit that notification bell. Also, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those below. Alright, so we got 5 more to go to finish off this zone. Let's get to 286. So, for this one we have 2 Untamed Beasts right up front, so we're going to do our bomb trick, but since these are level 10 Untamed Beasts, the level 7 bomb isn't going to cut it. So we've thrown in a second one just to polish them off, and then we've got these 3 Earth Elementals that we're going to have to resolve shortly after that. And we also have a Stormcaller with some backup with those shield bearers. So a little bit particular on the assassin placement. We do want to take out that Stormcaller right away. So I've placed them ahead of where he is. So they should pop right in front of him and start damaging him immediately. There's no running involved. And that's why I've got them in this tight little group. And you can accomplish that again by taking your assassins off the field, letting go, picking them up, and dropping them back on the field again. And it'll change their formation until you get a nice tight clump like this where they'll be right on top of them right from the start. Then I've got my cleanup crew to come through and take care of all the earth elementals and whatever shield bearers are left after the assassins get taken out. So we'll go ahead and run it for you, and you can have a look at how it goes. The cleanup crew is made possible by your friendly neighborhood battle drummer. Otherwise, the low health units would all die very quickly, but since that battle drummer's in there, they're all taking almost negligible damage, and they're able to just burn right through. So it really expedites the process. I mean, you could throw a paladin in there, but you'd be giving up 3 of those units to do it. So since you can, why not just make it go a little faster? Okay, so on this one, you'll notice that I have that note way off on the Risen Warrior placement. That's these guys right here. I don't know why I placed them there. I was intending to put them just a little further back to where they would come after this group of archers. So the theory behind this one is we've got these 2 groups of assassins in the back. And what I've done to accommodate for them is I've put this decoy crystal spire right here. It's not even going to be able to shoot at them initially because they're going to be invisible. But when the assassins from the top approach, the assassins from the bottom will trigger this freezing trap, which is going to cause everybody to be frozen, all 6 of them. And that crystal spire is going to be able to take all 6 assassins out. So for the cost of 2 points, I'm able to take out 4. Then I've got my 2 groups of assassins on that tree so that I can just get it knocked out, and then they'll hopefully split both up and down. But if they don't, that's why I wanted to have these Risen Warriors there to work their way down, because I was pretty confident some would at least go up. Then I've got wall jumpers, because we've got all these fortifications right here. So I've made it to where the Wraiths and the Arcane Blades are just going to rush right up, and the archers are going to approach just a little bit because they can't see these Wraiths. So they're going to try to get in range of something, so they're all going to walk forward just a little bit, and that's going to make it to where the Arcane Blades can skip the wall and attack them by blinking through. This bomb bot is designated for the Monster Hunter, and I've placed it well back from the front line so that this ancient tree can't explode it before the Monster Hunter reaches it. So it's going to have a little bit of runtime. The Monster Hunter is going to meet it halfway, and poof. So that's the theory. Let's go ahead and run it. Again, watch those Risen Warriors, how they don't quite make it where I thought they were going to make it. Monster Hunter and Tree are resolved. The Assassins did perfect. The Crystal Spire and the Freezing Trap did perfect for the Assassin. And my Assassins did very well. So very pleased with how that one turned out. Okay, let's move on to 288. Okay, here we have a bunch of Risen Warriors along that back line. 2 Crystal Spires, 2 Monster Hunters, and 2 Soul Pylons. So again, we want to try to avoid putting bodies in the radius of those Soul Pylons. So all the Risen Warriors, I've accounted for them by having this group of Thorn Guards. I've put my Battle Drummer tagged on to these Crystal Spires so that the Thorn Guards will still be in the radius and get that reduced damage. And the Battle Drummer will be protected by keeping him out of the fray. This freezing trap is going to catch the vast majority of these Risen Warriors because they're all going to wrap around those Thorn Guards and pop it when everything should be nearby. The archers are going to run forward because there's nothing really in range, so that's going to clear them out of the path, but I needed them to start back so that they weren't a distraction or pulling somebody off in a weird direction. As for these items here, I could have just used some assassins to try and take some of these things out, but there are other ways of doing things. You don't have to depend on your assassins all the time. I've put one group of mine shrooms right up front, and so long as one of these two monster hunters clips that, it'll drag the other one in, because if the top one hits, it'll become an enemy, and the other monster hunter will run toward it and hit a mushroom themselves. So what'll happen there is they'll both hit mine shrooms, and then they'll both be on my side, so then they'll turn around and start working their way back through this. And it won't last very long. They'll run back and forth, and they'll keep ping-ponging into those mine shrooms. Should that fail, and it doesn't finish the job, I do have this freezing trap here that the monster hunters are vulnerable to, and that will drop their shields, enabling all of my ranged units to nuke them down. If that fails, then my Thorn Guard should still be there with the Battle Drummer to take care of the monster hunters. So let's go ahead and run it. Alright, here goes. Okay, so the Frost Wizard is mostly there to catch the Risen Warriors as they pop up. And they did trip the freezing trap, so the vast majority of them are frozen for 15 seconds. And you'll notice the monster hunters are having conflicting designs over what they're supposed to be doing. They keep hitting the mine shrooms. And boom, game over. Okay, so that was 288. Let's move on to 289. Alright, this one is very similar to one we did very recently. We've got these Untamed Beasts. Up front, we're going to do the same trick where they both run after the same bomb bot, and I don't think it's going to kill them. But it's going to take out a very big chunk of their health, which will make it a lot easier for those Thorn Guards to handle them. I've got these Assassins, which are going to pop over to this side. Now, the reason I put them at the top, because you could put them in the middle and hope that they kind of split both directions by getting the vertical placement. But instead, this time I've put them on the top instead of the bottom. And the reason for that is because the top is going to remain mostly stationary. They're going to have much better time getting into range of my units and staying still. So the Assassins will be able to have an easier job clearing through them, and then as they get through to the end of them, the rest of these archers are going to be all lined up and ready for them to knock down without having to chase them. Then we've got the Earth Elementals, all four of them, that we're going to have to resolve. So we've got our two Crystal Spires, our Thorn Guards with a Draining Spirit, and a Valkyrie to latch onto one of the Thorn Guards and to keep it up the whole time. So let's go ahead and run it, and we'll show you how it goes. Oh, we did get one of the Untamed Beasts. Apparently a direct hit will kill him, but the second Untamed Beast only got the glancing blow, so it didn't get the full damage, but that's why it's nice to have the Thorn Guards. This fortification, it caught that little Earth Elemental spawn right there, and that was just absolutely perfect. They can't seem to get around that wall without getting distracted by it. And that is a perfect defense for my Crystal Spires. I didn't lose anything there. And it's just a matter of clearing up, which is going to be very quick now that we're in Frenzy. Right on. Okay, 289 down. Let's take care of 290, and we'll call it for this zone. Alright, we have 2 Eternal Champions, 3 groups of level 10 Faceless Knights, and 3 groups of level 10 Cannoneers. And for future reference in the upcoming zones, I'm going to be upgrading my units to about level 8 as I can, because I'm going to be 2 levels behind now. So I feel that's only fair. But I've been trying to do all of these with lower level units than what I'm up against, just to show you it can be done. So we're going to resolve the Eternal Champions the old-fashioned way, just by blowing them up. Then we're going to blow up the Faceless Knights. And these Assassins, we've got them tagged onto specific Cannoneers, just to burn them down, and then they'll, all 4 of them, hopefully go after this third Cannoneer in the middle. Then, since all of these are high HP units in the back here, we're going to use our Ember Fiend to do percentage-based damage on them and burn them down. Our Arcane Archer is there just as a backup, and I had 1 extra army point, so I just threw it in there just because it would probably take time for whatever's left to run all the way over here to get it. Now, I do have a note on this one that the top and bottom bombs are not placed properly, but I still won, and you're not able to replay these levels, so I was no longer able to adjust it to show you. So until Traplight does that, I'm not going to be able to change it, so we're just going to run with it and just have that note there that you do want to move these just a little bit further back, and you'll see why, because here we go. We're going to go ahead and run it. Okay, so watch that top and bottom bombs. They both get blown up before they can get into that primary blast radius on those Faceless Knights, and it leaves a lot of them up that would have been dead otherwise. So again, still able to clear them out without too much difficulty, but for those of you who are trying to recreate these battles, you want to move those bomb bots slightly back so that they don't get clipped as the Faceless Knight shoots towards the middle. Okay, so there it is. That is the Ancient Road completed. Thank you for watching. Again, please do like and subscribe. And check out the commandtable.com, where we have tutorials, raid strats, and in the near future we'll have merchandise and a comic strip. Thank you for watching. We'll have more for you soon.